Welcome back. Well, should I say, I'm back. It is the Sagittarius full moon energy. I'm Motherland, and let's take a ride. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about it. I know I missed you guys for the Taurus new moon energy. Listen, I was taking a summer class, and if you know, you know. Summer classes, man, intense and fast. So I had to tend to that business and my own personal business, but I'm here with you now for this Sagittarius full moon energy. But I'm gonna also go back and talk a little bit about that Taurus Gemini new moon energy back on June 14th and 15th. So the sun is in Gemini now, and Gemini, we're talking about air sign energy. Air sign energy. Now, at the time with that Taurus new moon energy, the sun was in Taurus. And for those that are new to this channel, to my channel, I want you guys to be aware that I I include the constellation Ophiuchus. So, if it's off to the 12 zodiac signs that Western astrology normally goes by, it's because of that. I incorporate 13 constellations, 13 zodiacs, and that includes the Ophiuchus constellation zodiac. So, just want to get that out the way so you guys can understand. So, like I was saying, the Taurus new moon, the sun was in Taurus, and if you go back and look at my other videos that were talking about the sun in Taurus, you'll know what the Taurus energy is all about. So, with now the sun being in Gemini, this is all mental energy. So, we just came out of the sun in Taurus, which is more of physical aspects. Now we're in the sun in Gemini. This is more of the mental aspects. And so with Gemini, you got communication, you have perspective, you have let's see, flexibility, variety seeking, curious, vocal, adaptive, perspective. And those are kind of those are some of the light aspects of that sign. The other aspect, the darker side, can be restless, superficial, fidgety, um, delusional. That can definitely be one. Those are going to be a few of the dark sides of Gemini, not speaking your truth. So yeah. Now now the moon being in Sagittarius, which is the polar opposite of Gemini. So you're gonna kind of have, like, you could say it could be a clash, but to me they complement. It's just a complementary. They work together. So with Sagittarius, this full moon is in Sagittarius. So with Sagittarius, some of the light aspects is um traveler, boundless, independent, philosophical, deep thinker, teacher, adventurous, let's see, risk taker. And so those are going to be some of the signs of the light side of Sagittarius. Now, some of the dark side could be tactless, too risky, self-righteous. I can also say a bit hard-headed. you know but those are some of the darker aspects of Sagittarius. But this is a great energy. Like, so far I've enjoyed this energy. I feel like it's just been one of those energies that's pushing things to be finished. Finish it up so you can go on to the next situation before you get restless sitting in an energy for too long. Finish this up. Finish everything that you need to do. Whatever's getting in the way of you going into the next phase of your life, the next chapter, whatever it may be. So, here's a couple messages that I have regarding this Sagittarius full moon. Making choices, decisions on what serves for your highest good. Choosing to let go, change, or embrace certain aspects. Also, being tested. For some, because I believe Mercury's in retrograde as well, the old coming back around and testing you. Have you learned your lesson? How will you react this time? And also, lessons that are being learned using your wisdom. And so, I even experienced a bit of that energy. Well, I'm not going to say a bit, a lot of that energy back with the Taurus Gemini new moon energy back on June 14th. And the sun was in Taurus. And I feel like in that energy, I was in school, but I also had to deal with other things that were coming up. And what I noticed, the theme about that new moon 2 weeks ago, the Taurus Gemini new moon, was that I was having to use my wisdom, and I was having to not allow anything get in the way of me finishing that class, accomplishing me taking care of myself, taking care of my household. I couldn't let anything get in the way. And so for some of you, y'all may have experienced that back with that new moon 2 weeks ago, and even going into this Sagittarius full moon energy, is that it's like it's like things that were distracting you at one point, you had to put a stop to it if you wanted to go to the next level, the next phase in your life. And so some of you guys, you may have experienced that as like myself. So yeah, I think that this Sagittarius full moon is like this final, it was like the finale of a purge, because I felt like the purge started 2 weeks ago with that Taurus Gemini new moon energy. The purge started, and then now it's kind of dissipating within this Sagittarius full moon. It's wrapping it up. If you have done the work, it's wrapping up, and now you can kind of see moving forward. I feel like the energy is opening up. If you've done the work, your energy is opening up doors to certain things that you possibly couldn't have went to before, because some of these distractions were in the way, and just new opportunities are coming to you because you're handling your business. You're taking care of the distractions. You're not allowing anything to stop you from your goals and what you're doing. And so when we do that, when we do the work, doors open up. And so that's what I really feel that is going on with the Sagittarius full moon, and also from 2 weeks ago with that Taurus Gemini new moon. So now I'm gonna pull a few cards, and let's get into this reading. All right. So the first card we have is perseverance. I know what I can do. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. This is such a Gemini energy. Mind. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So that's all Gemini sun energy right here. And that's also Sagittarius energy, because it's like just that blast of moving forward, that fire energy and that air energy coming together. It's like, hey, I can do this. I can accomplish what it is that what I'm out to do, and I'm gonna do it. And with that Sag energy, and no one's going to stop me. And Gemini has that energy too. So perseverance is a real good. I love that card. This card to come out right now for a Sagittarius full moon energy and Gemini sun, perfect perseverance. So just keeping at it at what you're doing, not letting anything get in the way. Just really, when I was saying, going back to the story of me being in school, I didn't let anything get in the way of me accomplishing, finishing my class. And by the way, how good I did it, I came out with a 98. I didn't let anything get in the way of that class, for sure. So the next card is peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energies. So bringing peace to yourself. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Being in your love energy, having that self love for yourself, the respect for the things that you're building and what you're doing, just having respect for yourself is bringing that peace. You know, moving, setting your goals, going after your goals is bringing you peace. That's a part of self love. When you're chasing the things that, when you're going after the things that you truly desire and you don't let anything get in the way, that is a part of self-love. So when we exude that self-love, that's giving back to ourselves. We are accomplishing goals, we're opening doors, that is being radiated back to us. Now the next card is surrender. I can release my need to control. So surrender has been a word I've been seeing too. So I feel like sometimes when it comes to when things like these distractions get in the way, or they try to get in the way, we tend to want to like control them and be like, hey, just behave. Behave. I don't and it's like when things kind of when things get out of control, sometimes it can really make an individual uncomfortable. I know even for myself, sometimes when things don't go as smoothly as I prefer them to, sometimes my control energy can be like, hey, just do what I ask you to do, but that's not always the case. And I have to surrender. I have to surrender that things are not going to go my way, and that the only thing that I can control is how I respond to things that do not go my way. So if something is not going, if the distractions are still trying to, penetrate you, use your wisdom to combat those distractions by having good boundaries. By having good boundaries, that is going to help you release trying to control what is happening in your life. Just having good boundaries can really help. But overall right here is just saying surrender. Not surrender and let the distractions get to you. No, surrender trying to control those distractions, because they're going to do what they do, but what you've got to do is control yourself. And by help and what helps control yourself is having good boundaries. The next card is happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. So for some of you guys, because you've done the work, happiness is here. Because you surrendered the control, because you've moved forward, and overcame the not allowing those distractions to get in the way and hinder your mental, and lose focus. Happiness is here. That's beautiful. The next card is abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. This card's been coming up so many times. Like, I love seeing this card, because when I see this card, it just lets me know that all the work that is being done is now showing up in the physical reality. It's showing up. So whether you've had a challenge in the past with overcoming the distractions on how to handle the distractions, now you can do it. Now you're doing it. You have no problem pushing through and setting these boundaries, communicating, because we're talking about Sun and Gemini, communication. So a lot of you have been having to communicate. And because you've been communicating your boundaries, you've been setting that tone. Now the abundance is coming towards you. Whether that, this is peace and happiness showing up in your life, that's abundant. That's abundant energy right there. Whether it is something in the physical aspect, some an opportunity open up, that's abundance. A peace of mind, abundant. However you want to look at it, but abundance is here, and it's more to come as you continue to surrender that control and set your boundaries. The next card is freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. I love this. So it's like, you're the one that possess the power to have this freedom in your life. I think this is great. You have the power to create your own happiness. And that's what's being done. As long as you continue to keep persevering and surrendering, you're going to continue to have this freedom of happiness and this peace in your life. You're creating it. I think that's beautiful. And the last card is health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So when this card comes out for me, I always say this is mental health. You're mental. So this is right on time for this video. So with the Sun in Gemini, your mental health, you're improving it because you're not allowing, you're surrendering your control. It's improving your mental health. It's improving not only just your mental health, but it's improving your body in general. And I really can attest to that for sure. Like, that's a real thing. When you do the mental work, everything else in your body follows. Because a lot of things that I think, and I talked about this in another video, a lot of things that manifest within our body starts with the mind first. And so when you're surrendering that control, you're also healing your body at the same time. So that was a beautiful card to come out. This was beautiful reading for sure. I love that. So I'm going to pull a Ganesha card. And let's see what Ganesha has to say. Childlike expression. I love that. I love that. So with childlike energy, let me look at my book because I haven't used these cards in a while. I just want to make sure I give you the full perspective on this card. I know for sure with this childlike energy, this is all about releasing things that do not serve you, that do not keep you in your childlike energy, that keep you light. This is all about trusting yourself, your inner knowing. It's really, this card really talks about just getting into being yourself. Like, because I think a lot of times when we are overwhelmed and we have a lot of distractions that come in, they take away from us being in our childlike expression. Being actually our real self. The mask is off when we're in this childlike energy. It just kind of reminds me of this shirt. Like, this is Sonic Hedgehog. This is childhood energy, right? So it's like just being your complete self. And the more that you have boundaries and you keep that going and you uphold that, you're going to step more into your childlike energy, tending to your passions, your hobbies, just being more happy. You know what I mean? It just, all those type of things get to play out in your life, and you really bringing that happiness, that joy within your own self. But in order to really obtain this energy, you have to really keep good boundaries from those, from people, places, things, perspectives that get in the way of you to really be your true authentic self. And I wanted to mention this because this came to my mind before I started this video. A lot of things in your life does not, like, distractions don't always have to be a person. A distraction can be a place, a location. It can be a business. And I'll give you an example. An example can be a doctor's office. And let me go a little bit deeper to what I mean by that. Sometimes, like, if you're at, like, and this is my own personal experience. Having going to a doctor's office, and say that this doctor office, they're just not doing what they need to do for you. They're not handling business as far as like just getting paperwork done and things like that. And you're constantly having to call them and get them to do what they need to do. Those things like that can be considered a distraction, depending on how you handle it. So one of the things is you got to have good boundaries with this. This means speaking your truth to the office and talking to higher ups and letting them know, hey, this is what's going on. And if things are still not resolved, then it's time for you to move forward and find another doctor's office to go to. That's just one of the examples I can use for when I talk about distractions and how they show up. It's not just a person or a family member. This can be anything, a location, business, your own perspective can get in the way. It's just a limitless things of distractions that can get in the way of really just creating that happiness, that peace in your life, and for you to continue, to be in your childlike expression energy. Again, you don't let anything get in the way, but sometimes things can get a little hectic, and that's where you surrender to not try to make it happen or control what's going on but by communicating and setting healthy boundaries. So this is my reading for the Sagittarius full moon. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all are enjoying this energy and it's working in your highest good. I'll see you for the next one.